Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going over some woke TikToks because why not? Why not torture ourselves, right? So I came across some pretty crazy TikToks recently and decided to do a compilation of some of the craziest that I have found, and they never disappoint. So without further ado, let's get right into this compilation reaction. Buckle your seatbelts. It's gonna get bumpy.
So where in the Bible does it say that you can't be trans? Jesus was trans. That's right. He was born of a virgin mother, so he could have only had X chromosomes. Where would the Y have come from? My point is that wearing a cross or identifying as Christian doesn't inherently make you a moral authority on anything, including the Word of God. God made trans people. You just don't like that he made us extra cute.
So there is just so much wrong with this creator, this TikToker, who I'm assuming is a trans man, a biological woman who identifies as a man. And wow, where to begin? So, you know what I find interesting? Before I even get into this, I find it interesting how the common theme seems to be that everybody in the secular world gets to criticize and be disrespectful towards Christians and towards Christianity, but you never see that same energy when it comes to Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, Judaism. Heck, not even Scientology gets trashed the way that Christianity does and gets completely disrespected. First of all, Jesus Christ was referred to in the Bible numerous times as a male, as the Son of God, not as a they, them, a she, her, or an it, but the Son of God. That's number one. So there is no question that Jesus, based on sex and gender, was male. We know this. The Bible did not mix his words up. It was very, very clear. But on top of that, they make the argument that, well, since Jesus was born from Mary and there was no male in the conception, then that means that Jesus had to only be XX. So Jesus was female who identified as they, them. Okay. First of all, if you understand the concept of the birth of Jesus, then you understand that Mary in the Bible was merely a physical vessel for Jesus. She was the body that he was able to grow inside of and be born from. But he was not biologically tied to Mary because there was no conception. Therefore, scientifically speaking, Jesus didn't have the biology of Mary, nor did he have the biological markers of Mary. He had the markers of God because he was the Son of God. If you are a Christian and you believe in faith, then you understand that concept. What this person is trying to do is they're trying to twist the Bible. They're trying to twist the actual birth of Christ to fit their narrative and their agenda to justify their transness. And again, you don't see this when it comes to other spiritualities or other religions. It's only Christianity that seems to be the target when it comes to disrespect. And my thing is, if you want to cry about respect, you need to give it back, period. And attacking Christianity, attacking Jesus Christ and his name and who he was, not who they were, who he was, is, in my opinion, blasphemous and incredibly disrespectful and disgusting on every level. You want to be trans and live your life as a trans person? Do you. Have fun. I don't care. But don't sit here and twist the deity of Christ in order to justify your lifestyle, because nobody respects that behavior. End of story. Moving on.
In January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December.
So if you are confused, join the club. So what we just saw was a creator, and I don't even know what their identity is, because as you saw from the video, every single month it has changed from she, her, to he, him, to zer, to he, people. Here's the thing. If you want to be taken seriously and not as a joke, it's probably best to pick an identity and stay there. If your identity is changing every single month, we got a problem. First of all, it's the narcissism for me, right? To think that you are important enough for me to have to ask you what your new pronoun is for the new month. Like, I have way more important things going on in my life, and I'm sorry, but your identity for the month is really low on the list, which means I may misgender you or misidentify you because I don't know what identity you have picked for that month. And when I see videos like this, to me, it kind of makes a mockery of the whole trans movement. And I think it actually does a huge disservice to trans people when you have confused people like this who don't know what or who they are, labeling themselves as trans, because there are real people out there who do struggle with gender dysphoria. I have said that on this channel many times. But the problem that we're seeing is that there are other people who are just genuinely confused about so much, and they were introduced to this gender indoctrination and decided, I want to be that. I want to be a part of that group. And the reason why their identity changes every second of the day, every month, every week, is because they truly are not trans, in my opinion. They are just confused. They're going through a phase. They want to be a part of something. They may be dealing with some other trauma in their life, and changing their identity gives them a sense of power, gives them a sense of control. The problem is no one is going to take you seriously when your identity is changing like the wind. I could understand maybe their identity changing, I don't know, every 3 or 4 years. They come to a new epiphany and, oh, I think I'm this. But every month? No. Go sit in a corner. Thank you.
All right, I will assume that you asked this question in a way that you really want to learn. So I will explain all the ways that it is okay. Let's say that you're attracted to women. Well, if you're attracted to women, then you're attracted to cis women, trans women without bottom surgery, and trans women with bottom surgery. If you're attracted to VJ, then you could be attracted to a cis woman, a trans man without bottom surgery, a trans woman with bottom surgery, or a non-binary person, which, depending on their assigned gender at birth, having or not having had the surgery. But it is that exclusion that makes it transphobic. So, if you say that you like women and you like VJ, then that would mean that you're attracted to cis women and trans women who have had bottom surgery. It is just that exclusion that makes it transphobic. You can have a genital preference, but to exclude trans people is transphobic.
Nope. You're wrong. Here's the thing. You cannot tell someone who they are allowed to be attracted to, nor can you tell people what preference they are allowed to have when it comes to dating or who they are or aren't attracted to. And look, I know that this crowd likes to believe that how you identify is all that matters and that biology isn't a factor. But when it comes to sex, when it comes to sexuality, when it comes to dating, biology kind of matters. It is an actual factor for many people. And it should be, because that is your prerogative, right? If you want to sleep with somebody who is a woman who does not have male parts, that does not make you transphobic. That makes you straight. I mean, it's not rocket science here. And what we're hearing from this individual is merely having a preference means that you are being exclusive and you are a bigot and a transphobe and a bad person because you won't sleep with a woman that has a... Excuse me? Like, in what universe does that make sense? Now listen, if you are a man that likes to sleep with trans women, pre or post-op, that is your business. It's your business. But it means that you are not interested solely in biologically straight women. You're just not. Because a trans woman is a trans woman. I mean, it's not really that hard of a concept to grasp, but these individuals always make it so much harder than it actually has to be. And they complicate it purposefully to try and pigeonhole people into their mindset, right? So it's like, either you think like us and you are attracted to who we say you should be attracted to, or you are a bad person. Yeah. I'm not buying it. I think it's nonsense. I think that more and more people are waking up to this nonsense and realizing that they're just not rooted in reality, and that is a problem. And the funny thing is, recently I actually came across a story that I haven't really touched on this channel yet, but there was a dating app for lesbians called Her, which included trans women. So biological men who identify as women who are attracted to women, so straight men. And they received a lot of backlash from lesbians who felt like, listen, we are not attracted to men. That's why we're lesbians. We are attracted to biological women. The biological factor matters. It always has, up until last Wednesday when everything changed. It became a really big issue because the question is, are people allowed to have preferences, right, based on biology? Absolutely. But with this new wave of ideology and gender confusion, suddenly how you identify is all that matters, even if you are presenting yourself as one gender but still have the body parts of the other gender. Again, it's a bully tactic to try and stop people from having preferences and speaking out on their preferences without feeling judged by the very people who claim they hate being judged. Make it make sense. So just FYI for all of these straight men out there, if you are not attracted to this, then you are a transphobe.
Being a woman isn't all getting dressed up and doing your makeup. You're right, it's a lot of things.
Hey guys, so to avoid copyright on this video, I'm going to lower the volume on this clip, but the captions will be on so you can read the crazy.
It's the grooves in between your fingers from walking home at night clutching your keys. It's knowing you can always ask someone for a hair tie and they'll have one on their wrist waiting for you. It's the pure joy of realizing your dress has pockets, even though this one doesn't. It's always going to the bathroom in a pack. It's playing as the female character in video games and still kicking ass. Pulling someone's hair out of the way to zip their dress or clasp their bra. It's never being afraid to use emojis, especially the pink ones. It's knowing how to tie a tie so you can always make sure your date looks handsome. It's all the little razor bumps on your legs and your arms and your face and the bottom of your stomach. It's taking off your shoes halfway through the night. It's creating literal works of art on our nails and our eyelids. It's dropping everything to help each other if we see someone else crying in public. I understand womanhood because I am a woman. And while I didn't have my first period in middle school, you don't have to fold your genitals up and put them inside yourself every day. We all have different experiences of what womanhood is, and it doesn't make any of us any less valid. So stop pretending that trans women don't understand what it's like to be real women. We all go through triumphs and tribulations as women every single day, and tearing each other down is just going to make it harder for all of us in the long run.
So this trans person literally went through every single stereotypical thing that you could think of as far as what womanhood is and declared that that is what being a woman is. Okay. Wow. So here's the thing. Being a woman is about biology. I said it. I know. I'm horrible. I'm transphobic. I'm evil. Curse me. But it's the truth. And so when you go through an entire stereotypical list, like it's how you paint your nails, it's how you clutch your pearls, it's going to the bathroom in groups. No, because what if you are a biological woman that has never done or can relate to any of those things on that list? You know what makes that woman a woman? Her chromosomes. And I'm sorry, but like, it's just the delusion for me, right? Like, you are not a woman. You are a trans woman. You only will understand the trans woman experience. Being a man and transitioning socially and medically into being a woman. That is your experience to have. The biological woman will never understand your experience, and you will never understand the biological female experience because they are two distinctly different things. And that's okay. What I don't understand is this push to say that trans women are identical to biological women and that the experience is exactly the same and that there are no differences to be acknowledged or even to be talked about. Because acknowledging that makes you transphobic. No, acknowledging that makes you realistic. And if I were a trans person, I wouldn't want to mesh my experience, my unique experience, with that of a biological female because my experience is unique to me. And that biological girl will never understand what I went through and all of the roadblocks that I had to go through to transition and to be who I am today. So I don't understand why acknowledging differences between trans and biological suddenly makes you a bad person or makes you problematic or hurts a person's feelings. Why? Like, you literally just went through an entire superficial list of what it means to be a woman. And I guarantee you that if a biological female commented and said, I don't like that list, that's offensive to me, that's ridiculous, that's not what womanhood is A, B, and C, and I know because I was born a woman, she would be ostracized in our society today. She would be called a bigot, closed-minded, transphobic, and she would be canceled for speaking up on what womanhood is from her biological female experience. That gets pushed aside. But the biological man living as a woman gets to make a list like this and is praised for it. Whew. I need a Red Bull.
When referring to one person, if you didn't feel comfortable calling them we or us because whatever you were saying specifically did not include you, you would likely use they, them, unless you had some other pronoun that you felt called to use. I personally utilize she, they, we, us. I feel very validated when utilizing collective pronouns, but I also recognize that they won't work for everyone because not everyone is on that collective level of consciousness yet. So in the time being, whatever pronouns call to you to use with me specifically, I accept all of them, whatever, pretty much. At this point, I just want myself and others to feel respected.
Dude, I'll have what she's having. She's a little bit, a little out there. A little out there for my taste. Yeah, so I guess using we as a singular pronoun is now a thing. And like she said, only those who are enlightened will understand. I guess I am not enlightened because I find that to be redonkulous. I'm not going to refer to myself as a we. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because I actually acknowledge proper grammar. And I know that with my OCD, calling myself a we is not going to work. It would irk the bejesus out of me to hear anybody, much less myself, refer to themselves as a we or as an us when referring to myself. It just seems ridiculous and odd. And yeah, she calls it enlightened. I call it trying to be as different as possible in every shape, way, and form. And that's her prerogative. Do you. Just don't hurt any babies. Don't hurt any animals. And I don't care. She ended the video with, we, I guess talking about herself, just wants to be respected. Well, respect, like I said earlier, is a two-way street. So as long as you respect the fact that I am not obligated to use your preferred pronouns, we're all good.
I might get obliterated for this take, but the most transphobic people that I've encountered, both online and off, have been cis women. I see so many videos of cis women talking about how they're essentially tired of sharing the space of womanhood with trans people because they don't understand the reproductive struggles that they've had. Just because you get periods and you have the capacity to have kids does not make you a woman inherently. Intersex people exist. Trans people can and have had kids. There are plenty of cis women that can't have kids or don't have periods or have other reproductive struggles for one reason or another. These same people will claim to be allies while also complaining about how somehow womanhood is being taken away from them because trans people are calling themselves women without having the same experiences that they have had. If trans women bother you in that way, you're being transphobic. There's no other way around it.
Okay, so I don't mean to be dismissive or disrespectful from this creator's perspective, but I couldn't help but laugh when she described the biological factors that makes a woman different from a man, and then proceeds to say, it's not like that makes that a woman inherently. It doesn't. So a woman getting her menstrual cycle, a woman being able to carry children and having a uterus, a woman going through the biological female experience is not an inherent factor of what makes a woman a woman? Since when? In order to buy into this ideology, you have to effectively disregard biological factors and disregard the science, which is something, again, like I've said in previous videos, that the left and liberals have always held so strong to, right? It was always the crazy Christians, the crazy people on the right, crazy Republicans who didn't respect science and who refused to believe in science, who were just so close-minded. And now you have these progressive, liberal, leftist Democrats, whatever you want to call them, who literally disregard and poo-poo away science and biology and facts. And suddenly factors like chromosomes and factors like biological differences don't really matter. Well, young lady, I'm sorry for you, but it does. And again, acknowledging that does not make you transphobic. And it's funny too, because in this video she's targeting biological women and saying biological women are this and biological women are that, and they're just transphobic and they're closed-minded. And notice how this same energy is never directed towards biological men. You see a theme here? You see a trend going on here where biological women are constantly the ones being attacked, are constantly the ones being told to shut up, sit down, and behave and accept what is. But biological men, nobody says anything to us. Nobody even factors what we're saying because, I'm going to say it, misogyny is real. And this is the new wave of feminism, telling biological women to shut the heck up, sit down, and nod your head.
It's a topic that won't seem to die, so let me make something very clear. If you buy the Hogwarts Legacy game, you are contributing to transphobia. Even if you consider yourself an ally, even if you yourself are trans, you are contributing to transphobia. And that is not an opinion, it's a fact. J.K. Rowling, both through the words she says and direct financial contributions, is signal boosting and enabling multiple groups and individuals who are actively pushing for the stripping away and restricting of rights of trans people, especially in the UK right now. And it's working. If you pay for that game, you're contributing to that. Rowling has made it very clear she believes every penny of the residual checks that she gets to be proof that people support her and are fine with what she's doing. And no matter what other rationalizations you have, oh, I'm supporting the devs, I just really love this universe, that's fine, but you are also contributing to transphobia. Although note I said, if you buy it, not if you play it. There's a debate to be had about big streamers, whether they should be boosting it, but for your average person, if you find a way to get it without paying for it, well.
Okay, so this last one's going to be short and sweet. I've never really been a huge J.K. Rowling fan. I haven't really watched the Harry Potter series, didn't read the books, haven't played one single game. However, I will be now, just to spite this crazy lunatic community that wants to cancel everything and everyone. And by the way, when you research why J.K. Rowling was canceled, she was canceled because she actually acknowledged that sex is a factor and biology is a factor in what makes a woman and a man, and that those experiences should be a factor in life. Oh my God, how dare she?
She acknowledged science. Cancel her.
And I also find it really interesting how this creator is saying playing the game is okay as long as you didn't buy it. So as long as you steal it, that's okay with me. Wow. Talk about selective outrage when it comes to morality. J.K. Rowling, you are a GOAT. We salute you. All right, peoples, I cannot do another woke gender TikTok video because if I do, my head is going to explode. But I do it for you. But now I need a break. So we're going to end the video here. If you guys enjoyed this content, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit my notification bell so you know when I post a brand new video. Trying to post weekly, mostly on Fridays or Saturdays, so be on the lookout for that. If you want to connect with me on social media, you can also follow me on TikTok and on Instagram under CurlyBoyChuck. I do answer my DMs, and I do connect with people on those platforms, so don't be a stranger. And if you want to support my channel financially, I will have a PayPal link as well as a Cash App link in my description. All proceeds will go back into this channel so I can continue to grow and spread the message. You can't cancel me. Until next time, peace.